Few modern truck engines have generated as much discussion, admiration, and debate as Ford's massive 7.3-liter Godzilla V8. Since its introduction, this engine has been praised by enthusiasts, praised by mechanics, and widely promoted as one of the most robust gasoline engines available in heavy-duty trucks. Some fans even claim it is the best gas truck engine ever built, but others question whether the praise has gone too far. Is the Godzilla engine truly a revolutionary powerhouse that deserves its legendary reputation? Or has the excitement around it created unrealistic expectations? To answer that question, we need to look beyond marketing and examine the engine from multiple perspectives: its engineering philosophy, real-world performance, reliability, tuning potential, and expert analysis from truck engineers and industry specialists. The truth is more interesting than either extreme. When Ford introduced the 7.3-liter Godzilla V8 in 2020 for its Super Duty lineup, the company had a clear goal: build the most durable gasoline engine possible for heavy-duty work trucks. At the time, most heavy-duty truck buyers preferred diesel engines for their torques and towing power. Gas engines were often considered secondary options, cheaper but less capable. Ford wanted to change that perception. Instead of building a complex turbocharged gasoline engine, engineers took a radically different approach: simplicity, displacement, and durability. The result was a massive naturally aspirated pushrod V8 with the following characteristics: 7.3 liters of displacement, cast iron block for durability, simple pushrod valve train, long stroke design for torque, and large bore spacing for future upgrades. This design was intentionally old school. When Ford introduced the 7.3-liter Godzilla V8 in 2020 for its Super Duty lineup, the company had a clear goal: build the most durable gasoline engine possible for heavy-duty work trucks. At the time, most heavy-duty truck buyers preferred diesel engines for their torques and towing power. Gas engines were often considered secondary options, cheaper but less capable. Ford wanted to change that perception. Instead of building a complex turbocharged gasoline engine, engineers took a radically different approach: simplicity, displacement, and durability. The result was a massive naturally aspirated pushrod V8 with the following characteristics: 7.3 liters of displacement, cast iron block for durability, simple pushrod valve train, long stroke design for torque, and large bore spacing for future upgrades. This design was intentionally old school. According to several Ford engineers involved in the project, the goal was not to build the most technologically advanced engine. It was to build the most reliable workhorse possible. Our focus was durability and serviceability. Many of these trucks are used in commercial environments where uptime matters more than peak horsepower. In other words, Ford built the engine for contractors, fleet owners, and heavy-duty truck buyers who prioritize longevity over complexity. So, why do enthusiasts love the Godzilla? Well, the Godzilla engine quickly developed a strong following among truck fans, and honestly, there are several reasons for all that enthusiasm. First off, it's got massive torque for a gas engine. The 7.3-liter V8 produces around 430 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque in stock form, depending on the model year and configuration. Now, while those numbers may not quite match what you'd see from diesel engines, they're still extremely impressive for a naturally aspirated gasoline engine in a heavy-duty truck. More importantly, the torque arrives at relatively low RPM, and that characteristic makes the engine feel strong and responsive when you're towing trailers, hauling heavy loads, or climbing steep grades. According to towing experts, torque delivery actually matters far more than peak horsepower when you're moving heavy cargo. The Godzilla's large displacement lets it generate that torque without needing turbochargers or high engine speeds. Another reason enthusiasts admire the engine is its mechanical simplicity. Nowadays, a lot of modern engines rely on really complicated technologies, like dual overhead camshafts, direct injection combined with port injection, turbochargers, intercoolers, and all kinds of complex emission systems. The Godzilla, though, avoids much of that complexity. Instead, it uses a traditional pushrod architecture, similar to classic American V8 engines. Pushrod engines have fewer moving parts, a more compact design, and are often easier to maintain in a heavy-duty environment. For truck owners who keep their vehicles for hundreds of thousands of miles, simplicity often translates to long-term reliability. Built like a commercial engine, Ford designed the Godzilla engine to survive extreme workloads. Its cast-iron block provides exceptional strength, allowing the engine to handle high cylinder pressures and sustained heavy loads. In fact, some engineers say the engine is actually overbuilt compared to typical gasoline engines. The crankshaft, connecting rods, and cooling system were all designed to handle commercial duty cycles. Fleet maintenance experts frequently point out that many heavy-duty trucks spend long hours towing, idling, or operating at high temperatures. Engines built for those conditions really have to prioritize durability above all else, and the Godzilla appears to follow that philosophy pretty closely. So, what do mechanics say about reliability? Well, perhaps the most important question for truck owners is reliability. Early data from mechanics and fleet operators suggests that the Godzilla engine has been very dependable so far. The engine's simple design helps reduce potential failure points. There are no turbochargers, fewer high-pressure fuel system components, and relatively straightforward mechanical systems. Many mechanics report that the engine is easy to service compared with more complicated modern engines. The design is straightforward, which is exactly what you want in a work truck engine. While long-term data is still accumulating, early reliability reports have been encouraging. All right, let's talk about real-world performance. Owners who use the engine for towing and hauling often report strong real-world performance. The engine's torquey characteristics make it well-suited for heavy loads. Instead of needing to rev extremely high, the engine can deliver steady pulling power at moderate RPM. That trait really improves drivability when hauling equipment, trailers, or construction materials. Fleet managers have also noted that gasoline engines like the Godzilla can sometimes reduce maintenance costs compared with diesel engines, which often require more complex emission systems. For some businesses, that trade-off makes gasoline power appealing. Now, about the engine's future potential. Another reason the Godzilla engine continues to generate excitement is its future potential. Ford engineers designed the architecture with room for growth. Some industry insiders believe the engine could eventually appear in new applications, including performance trucks, racing builds, and high-performance crate engines. Ford already offers the engine as a crate engine for custom builds, which has increased its popularity among enthusiasts. The engine's strong block and large displacement provide a platform that could support future upgrades or new versions. So, expert verdict. Is it overhyped? After examining both praise and criticism, the answer becomes clear. The Godzilla engine is not perfect, and some of the hype surrounding it may exaggerate its capabilities. It is not the most advanced engine ever built. It does not deliver the fuel economy of smaller turbocharged engines, and it still cannot match diesel engines for extreme towing. However, dismissing the engine as overhyped would also be inaccurate. The 7.3L V8 succeeds precisely because it focuses on what truck buyers actually need: durability, simplicity, strong torque, and easy maintenance. In those areas, the engine performs extremely well. Sometimes the best engineering solution is not the most complicated one. It is the one that does the job reliably every day. And now, just some final thoughts. The debate over Ford's Godzilla engine reveals something important about modern truck engineering. In an era dominated by turbochargers, hybrid systems, and increasingly complex technology, the Godzilla represents a different philosophy. It embraces old-school engineering principles while applying modern manufacturing and durability standards. That combination has created an engine that many truck owners trust. Is it overhyped? Perhaps slightly. But the truth is that the engine deserves much of the praise it receives. It may not be the most technologically advanced engine on the market, but it accomplishes exactly what Ford intended. And in the world of heavy-duty trucks, reliability and strength often matter more than innovation. That is why the 7.3L Godzilla V8 continues to earn respect from mechanics, engineers, and truck owners alike. For many drivers, the engine is not just hype. It is a reminder that sometimes bigger, simpler, and tougher really can be.